Yo, Panther Nation, how y'all doing? Welcome back to
What
Two Fans
happening?
in the Stands. I am CJ.
And I am Tony.
Right. So, cousin,
What's happening?
look,
Talk to
little
me.
better, a little better.
Little
Look,
something. Just a little something.
yeah, just a little something, something. It's just a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping that everybody can take their hand off of the nuclear
Panic,
panic button.
panic
Yeah,
button. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping everybody can take the hand off the panic button. Now, mind you, that doesn't mean that there's some stuff that we still, upset about. Some stuff that we
Right.
want to see get better from my team. And I put out a little short on YouTube earlier about somebody we gonna talk about here in a minute, extensively. So I'll save that one. But how you doing
Right.
today, Cuz? What's going on?
Man, I can't call it. Feeling a little better today, than I was last week.
Mhm.
Like I said, the results are nothing to write home about, but it was definitely better than last week. Like you mentioned, there's some things or certain people that we're gonna definitely talk about extensively on this live. But overall, I saw a little bit more of what I wanted to see as far as with the execution. I wanted to see them move the ball down the field, and
Mhm.
I wanted to see the defense, especially the second and third teamers, play with a little bit more, sense of urgency, and get some stops. I didn't want to see them being treated like a track meet, and
Mhm.
going the Giants going up and down the field on them. I'm glad those guys showed a little moxie, about themselves, and you know, I leave the hand on the pen. Yeah, but overall, last week to me was a D. This week I will have to give it. I'll give it a C. I
No,
give it a
no,
C.
no. Keep it a butt, Tony. Last week was a R.
What was
Eh,
R?
It was a
What's the
R.
R? What
Whatever,
was?
but way below a F. It was a damn R. I wouldn't even give it no D. I wouldn't even do a F. That would be injustice to an F. That was a R.
That been just.
Yeah.
Well, this week, when you look at it in totality, now I take into account what Frank Wright said. Like, it was still vanilla, but not as vanilla as it
Mhm.
was last week. If you go back and research his history, he did the same thing when he was at Indy. Don't want to show his hand too much, and I get it. Like I said, it's a new offensive scheme, a new defensive scheme. There are things that these guys are still working on, trying to iron out. And when you
Mhm.
look a little deeper into it, you look at it our first 2 weeks are against division opponents,
Yeah.
against the Falcons and the Saints. You don't want to give them too much of an upper hand. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to give
Yeah, I
them
get it.
too much to look forward to. So I get that part. But what you do want to see is effort, execution, uh guys carrying out their assignments and
Mhm.
being able to move the ball. That's what I want
Yeah.
to see. I didn't care about the score. I don't care about a win loss. I didn't care about none of that. I just wanted to see better execution than what we saw last week, and I was happy with that. But what about you, man? How you feeling?
Look at Black Camp Panther podcast. That whether got him fired from Indy, he better learn from his mistakes. Hey,
That
that's
got to be
the truth.
Q. That got to
You
be Q, man.
either Q or pop, one or the other one. But hey, I see no lies in
I,
that statement at
I
all.
see no lies. I see
Yeah.
no lies. You're right though.
Los Amigos said Hyatt tore up the second day. He damn sure did. That
No, he
Joker was
didn't. No, he didn't. He got that
come
one.
on.
He got off on that one pass where he was in the
Come
slot.
on
He
now.
ran.
Hey,
He ran
no,
a.
no, no,
Listen,
no, no,
listen,
no, no, no,
listen.
no.
He
Steve
ran a deep.
Smith, watch the replay. Steve Smith even said, he said, man, he said Jalen Hyatt is just running loose in the secondary. It's just
He was.
mad time
He
for they
was.
getting ball again.
He was running loose because they wasn't playing any man to man last night. They were playing soft zone. Just look at the coverage of what they were playing. They were playing soft zone, and he was
Mhm.
running from the slot position, just like that one position. I'm sorry, that one touchdown that he had where he
Mhm.
ran skinny post and cut it back to the outside. He did that against Eric Rowe. Now,
Uh-huh.
granted, I like Eric Rowe. I think Eric Rowe is a better nickel corner, slot
Mhm.
corner than he is a safety. But okay, he got off. He got lucky with that one. Ain't like he just ran roughshod, all over the secondary all game long. I can't give him that. Dude only had like 35 yards. 32
No,
of them came on that touchdown. Come
I
on, man,
I
stop playing.
I understand that, but that first drive, if we were running quarters must have turned into kilometers or miles or something. I'm serious, man. I'm serious, and you know I'm right. You know I'm right because you're over there laughing. You know I'm damn right. Man, let me
Oh
tell you, they was just like
God.
foo, 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 dinking and dunking. I mean, it was like everything was happening between the linebackers, and the quarterback, but the linebackers was in Manhattan, and the play was going on over in Jersey.
Well, I've been saying this ever since last year,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to Shaq Thompson in coverage. Shaq Thompson is not the same Shaq Thompson he was in 2015, 16, and 17. He's just not the same. Frankie
Mhm.
Louvu is a better downhill thumper than
Mhm.
he is in coverage, trying to cover wide receivers or anybody out the backfield.
Yeah.
He has progressed. He has gotten better, but that's not his strength. And until you get those guys where you want them to be, it's going to be a little bit of struggle um, when it comes to the pass defense. But also, three of our four starters on the defensive line didn't play last night. No Justin Houston, no Brian
Mhm.
Burns, and no Derek Brown. So
Yeah.
I mean, I give the Giants credit where credit is due. They did what they were supposed to do. They went downfield. They
Mhm.
scored. But let's not forget, like our starting defensive line was not in the game. So
Yeah.
there we
Yeah.
have it.
But now the thing I will say this though, and Kenneth makes a good comment here. He said, I want every starter possible next week for 4 series to start, and then those fighting for the roster spot. I
Not
mean,
gonna happen.
I know that's not going to happen, but I would take one series from the starting defense, one from the starting offense, and they both look competent and sure of themselves and actually did something. I think for me, I would take that. Don't know if we're gonna get that, but you know, hey, it's just.
We're not.
I mean,
It's the third. Yeah, it's the third preseason game. You won't see Bryce Young. Bryce Young will not play next week. I'll be
yeah.
surprised if he played at all next week, even though he's a rookie
Mhm.
and he needs as much playing time that he can get, but I think they also want to be smart about it and they're going to try to save him for when the regular season starts. I think next week
Mhm.
you're going to see it's going to be all about the backup, the second, third stringers, undrafted rookies, people that's fighting for a position to, to get on that 53-man roster and even possibly to get on the practice squad because everybody's not going to make the 53-man roster, but you got 16 slots that's available on the practice squad, so you
Mhm.
going that's going to be filled out, and then there's going to
Yeah.
be cuts from other teams. That there's going to be some maneuvering. There's going to be some roster
Mhm.
changes between now and the first week.
Okay. Well, we're gonna put the link in the chat here in a minute. Go ahead and get this out the way first. I let me see what I took from last night's game. I think we're gonna be okay with Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is going to be just fine.
Real
Um,
deal.
he had way more time in the pocket than he did last week, from what I saw, and his pocket presence is already noticeable. Okay, and
Yes.
he's just a rookie. This is his second preseason game, but I don't see why he can't get in, why he can't continue to build on that from here. Um, you even saw it when Icky passed Thibodeau off to, you know, whatever ghost of the
The
Meadowlands was playing, left tackle,
the
next to him. I
go
guess
the
he thought.
ghost of Sam Donald.
Yeah, he must have thought he had left tackle number 2 next, to him, so he passed him off to him. But even on that play, Bryce kind of saw it coming at the last second, fold himself up like you had a like you trying to make a peanut butter sandwich and you got one piece of bread, kind of folded in half, went down to the ground. You know what I mean? Didn't take too much of a hit. But
Right,
but yeah, I like what he does when he has time because there were a couple plays and you could tell. Okay, now they say his processing ability is, further along than a lot of rookie quarterbacks, and you can tell at times because it was like he was going through his progression. 1, 2, it's not there. You know what? Gone. Let me get rid of it. It's
right,
like he's so far he hasn't made any, really stupid throws. He hasn't put the ball where the defense is going to be able to get it and make a play. And that's what I really like from him. And I just hope that they can continue to build on this because what does suck is probably won't see the starters next week. And we went from that dismal performance last week to it got a little better this week, okay?
right.
But now we're really not gonna be able to see truly what's what with our first stringers until game 1, in Atlanta. So,
And,
yeah.
and that's okay because it will give them time to fix to go back and correct the mistakes that we have seen in the
Mhm.
first two games, especially with the offensive line. You know what I mean? Hey, I gotta give a shout out to Chandler Savala. Chandler Savala held his own at right guard.
Oh, yeah.
He
Oh,
held
yeah,
he
we're gonna
held his
get into
own
that in
at
a minute
right
too.
guard last night. I also like what I saw from Nash Jensen when he got in there and played. There
Mhm.
was better offensive line across the board.
It was.
I particularly was happy to see Ricky Lee and Deontay Brown on the left
Mhm.
side until Deontay Brown hurt his hamstring. I didn't know what happened, why he had went out, why he wasn't there to start the fourth quarter. But Frank Wright said that he did have a slight hamstring situation. But when he was in there for the second consecutive week, didn't allow
Mhm.
any pressures.
He did
Let me
good.
just let me
Yeah.
just throw that out there for all the Deontay Brown haters. There was no pressures or sacks allowed by number 77. All right.
Yep.
Full stop. Yeah. So yeah, I like what Ricky Lee did. Now he had
Mhm.
a one or two um penalties, but
Mhm.
that's okay. It was his first game getting extensive play. That was to be expected. But honestly, his play was better than what Larnell Coleman did at left tackle, and damn sure better than what Cam Irvin did at right tackle. So if I had to choose between the three,
Mhm.
I would choose Ricky Lee. So shout out to Ricky Lee, shout out to Zavala, shout out to Nash Jensen, and
Mhm.
I forgot the other guard that played left guard last night when
Oh, number
Deontay
60
Brown, the
65.
Renzio,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
uh-huh,
something like
something like
that.
that, yeah.
Apologize if I didn't get his name right, but yeah, he know what I'm talking about. He
Mhm.
did
Oh,
good.
yeah.
He did good as well last night. So I think we
Mhm.
got some undrafted players, some young guys that can push some of these veterans out the door
Yeah,
and solidify a spot for them.
yeah. Now, I agree with you, I did like what Zavala did. Now, it sucks, he had a big holding penalty on that drive that really, stalled the drive out, led to a field goal, and I can't lie, I can't even lie, when we got that field goal, I was just like, "Okay, we're not getting goose egged again this week." Even though I did want the touchdown. But I can't lie this as well. Start of the fourth quarter, I must have fell asleep because it was 21-6. And next thing you
Yeah,
know, I look up, I was like 21-19. I said, hold on, wait. I missed both of the touchdowns, later on in the game. I had to go back and watch both of them this morning on the replay. I was like, man. But but yeah, Zavala looked good, Jensen looked good, Ricky Lee looked good, Deontay looked good.
yeah,
And I would say that the entire starting offensive line looked way better, besides, our franchise left tackle.
yes, sir.
I I Icky Ikemikwanu or however you wanna say.
Ikem
But,
Iki Ikwanu.
yeah, man, oh my goodness. Hold on, Tony, let me bring this up real quick. I gotta show this. Okay, y'all. So he's got Thibodeau, you know, split out wide here.
He in the wide nine position. That's what you call a wide nine.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pause it right here. You see him. He sees him. He sees him. He sticks his
Nobody's to
hand.
his left.
Yeah. Look. He sticks his hand out. He puts a hand on him. He puts a hand on him. And then at this point, I'm like, bruh, who are you looking at? Who are you looking at? I'm just wondering what in the hell happened. What was the read like? Like you said, who did he think
They
was
had
over
they
the
had there had to be a complete breakdown in his thought
complete
process.
breakdown?
Like I don't know if he had the protect. He no ain't no I don't know. He had the protection wrong. He
He
had
had
to.
to. He
He had
had to.
to.
He must have thought somebody. I mean, look at this. He puts a hand on him and looks away from him, and then he realizes, oh crap, he's still going. And then he tries to turn around, but
He worried. It looked to me he was worried about helping Brady Christensen instead of focusing on
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, who was his man, because he had no outside help. There was no tight end to the left of
No.
him.
Uh-uh.
They wasn't running any type of stunt. There was no overload on that left side. It was just mano y mano. It was 1-on-1. So I
Yeah.
don't listen. I can't defend him on that. I don't know what to
Yeah.
say.
Los Four Amigos say he think he's gonna have a lot of INTs due to being under pressure a lot, not having speed scramble and his height. Well,
That's
let's hope that's not the case. But one thing I will say is if we can get our run game established and hopefully these vanilla ass play calls turn into something more once the regular season starts and we can get our run game going and our passing game feeds off the run game, I think Bryce Young would be just fine. You know,
well. Here's the thing, Lost Four Amigos. What you're saying right here is not true because he has the speed to scramble, and I don't think his height will play a part in him throwing a lot of interceptions. I think he's smart enough to throw a ball away if he
mhm,
needs to. I think he's fast enough and he's quick enough to get out of you know not to stand still like a statue and get sacks. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
true.
I believe he can avoid a lot of sacks that may or may not come, that may come his way. I think he has the skills to get out of it. So that part I can't agree with.
Yeah, you say if he takes a lot of sacks like Tua or Fields, he will get injured. Let's hope not.
Well,
You know,
Lost for Amigos, I wish I could mute you right now because you putting out lot of bad juju, and I don't appreciate it, sir. You try and get our franchise quarterback killed. Like you trying to set him up for failure. What
hey,
the hell is going on?
look, leave him alone, man. Hey, look, but that's the beauty of this. He calling it like he see it. Okay, you
No,
know,
no, ain't no saying that. I'm not saying that
I
with him.
but
I
in his
refuse.
in his defense though, the thing is, if this is what we continue to see going into the regular season, then he'll be exactly right.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to live in the premise of thinking that if you know what I'm saying. Like it's the preseason, it's gonna
Mhm,
get fixed, and it's gonna be better come the
mhm,
regular season. Until it happens,
uh-huh,
I'm not willing to go on out on a limb and say that it
mhm,
will happen. Like I know, like you say, anything is possible. I get it, but let's remain optimistic that
mhm,
things will work
yeah.
out in our favor.
I'm always optimistic, but at the same time, this is what we have to work with. This is the only bit of anything that we got to go on right now. So,
That's true. That's
if
true.
we basing our opinions on what we have seen so far, hell yeah, it's a lot of concern to be had in Panther Nation. Now,
I
on the
get
other
it.
hand, do I think that it will get fixed and do I think it would get better? Yes, I do. But we have to see it first so we can confirm that and then we can move on. But until then, we got plays like Icky passing Thibodeau off to whoever the hell he thought was over there. You know what I mean? And
I mean
you've
that
got plays like Mingo not running through the route and catching the ball, and it's stuff to clean up. It's stuff to clean up,
is
exactly.
stuff to clean
But
up.
the eye test so far, what we see, it's cause for concern because I'm not doing this whole it's just preseason thing because some of the plays that we have made, it's just preseason is not an excuse. Okay, but
No,
some of them.
I get it. I get it. But I'll say this.
Hmm.
When they talking about, how vanilla the offense has been or whatnot, I just know that 90% of the plays that we saw the offense run while we were in Spartanburg
Hmm.
hasn't even been touched upon
Yeah.
this preseason thus far.
Hmm.
It just hasn't even been touched upon. Um, I'm not saying there's not room to be concerned, but what I'm saying is just remain hopeful and optimistic. Cause like
Oh yeah.
if Icky was a bad left tackle from last year, just say his numbers of last year was just
Hold, hold,
horrible.
hold, hold hold on, Tony. Hey, be blessed, Ken. He said he got to run. Got Sunday dinner and barbecue with
All right,
friends.
Kenna.
Appreciate you stopping by, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just
Go ahead,
so
Tony.
let's just say like if Icky had a bad year last year, his numbers weren't that good, and we were questioning the fact that we picked him eighth overall in the draft
Hmm.
last year, and we went into the preseason. I know we went into the offseason thinking, did we make the right choice or the wrong choice at left tackle? That hadn't been the case. Ike
Hmm.
had a great year last year, one of
Hmm.
the best years for a left tackle, rookie left tackle, in almost a decade.
Okay.
So it's not like his game has regressed. There
Hmm.
were a couple, I think, mental errors,
Hmm.
especially last night, that needs to be corrected. I think he has the right offensive line coach in James Campen that will help him get there. I think,
Yeah.
in all honesty, in all looking at the full totality of it, his play this week was better than last week. Last week
Yeah.
he got
I'll,
beat
I'll,
like
I'll agree
two or
with that.
three sacks. He
Hmm.
got beat, even though he gave up a sack. He only gave up one this week. So it's like a
Yeah.
little slow progression. And he didn't
Hmm.
get beat because the man overpowered him. He got beat. He beat himself with a mental error. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. But and at the same time, I will counter with this. I would rather him get beat and somebody just skillfully and physically beat him, and get to the quarterback. The mistakes he made is just like, opening up the floodgates and letting everything just come 100 miles an hour straight at the damn quarterback. Okay. That's been my issue because his mistakes have just been like glaring, just like, oh my God, like what the hell are you doing? You,
So
you get what I'm
you
saying?
you 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 would like to see you would rather see the left tackle get beat one on one, man to man, as opposed to making a mental mistake. So let me ask you this: which one do you think is
Hold on,
more
how many questions
correctable?
you gonna ask me? You gonna let me answer the first?
Well, it was like a two. It was like a two for one. It was like a two for one. I'm like the reporters. I'm trying to get two off at the same time.
No, okay. I'm just saying this. Those errors that he made were just like things that to me, I know it's preseason. Okay, I know they're learning a whole new offense, but it seems like he is the only one that's been making those just, oh, I forgot I was playing football for about 10 seconds kind of errors. You know what I mean? That
I
that's
get it.
that's what
I
I'm
get it.
saying. Okay, that's what I'm saying because now he did like last week versus the Jets. Now he did get like beat. I forgot what number 11. I forgot his name. Now not the play where him and Christensen got the stunt mixed up and whatnot, but another play and 11 beat him. And got to Bryce Young. But
Right.
yeah, like it's just I don't want to see him get beat at all. Okay, I don't
Right.
want to see him get beat at all. But it just those just look so bad. I mean, like
I
so
get it.
so
I
bad.
get
It's
it.
just
I
like
agree with you. I
yeah,
agree
it's just
with
like
you.
he stuck his hand out there, and my thing is like, what was going on in his mind that he didn't know that there was nobody to the left of him to
I
block
honestly,
Thibodeau because they won a 3 wide receiver set.
yeah,
The next man out from him was Adam Thielen in the slot. So
I get it. I get it. Well, whether you want to say it was lost, he lost focus,
mhm,
wrong protection, um a half a second or a second late with the snap count. Whatever the case may be, it was more of a mental error, and that's
mhm,
something I believe that can easily be corrected and fixed. I think you can overcome a mental error quicker and faster than you can physically being beat down by somebody.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Braxton Jones got beat by being overpowered, but he trained with all in. Huh?
Okay.
But yeah, man. But let me go ahead and put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come in and join us. Come
And
and give y'all opinion.
shout out also to Matt Corral. I was happy to see Matt Corral get an opportunity to move the ball down the field and show what he can do. I like his scramble when he ran out the pocket.
Mhm,
He had a couple throws, good throws, but he also
mhm,
had some throws that I know that he wished he could have back. But
okay,
overall, I think Matt Corral had a good day. I think he was like 9 of 13 for 71 yards. No TDs, no interception. Of course, he was sacked at one time,
mhm,
but 9 of 13. I mean that's something to hang your hat on and something that he can build upon. He didn't have that. He didn't have this kind of opportunity last year. So for the first time,
or
I
less.
think, yeah. So the first time, I believe in his pro career, he actually got a chance to move an offense down the field with
Mhm,
a chance to potentially score.
okay.
So shout out Matt Corral.
Now let me ask you this, Tony. Okay, so uh, after halftime, Thomas Brown took over the play calling, and you could tell the difference between the first half and the second half. Okay, let me
Okay.
pose this question to you. Now, like when we playing Madden or something, and you get your ass beat, and somebody tell you, "Hey, it's time to give up stick." You got to get up.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard that before.
okay, so now we saw the play call in the first half, saw the play call in the second half. Mind you, it's still all vanilla. Okay, but
Right.
it was a noticeable difference to me. And anybody else comment, let me know if you saw it too. But this next preseason game, think Frank Wright should give up the sticks and let Thomas Brown call the whole game?
I think you should let. I think the roles should be reversed.
Mhm,
I think Thomas Brown should be allowed to call the first half,
mhm,
and if he has success with it, if he has a successful first half, then I
okay,
think he should be allowed to call the second half as well.
okay,
Only if he has a successful first half.
mhm,
Yeah.
okay. Now, did you think that the play calling rose from the vanilla level that we have been accustomed to hearing from Frank Wright? Um, Still not giving away a whole lot, but and still being somewhat vanilla, but maybe they added some sprinkles or some chocolate sauce on it or something. You know what I mean? Just something. It got
It
a little
was
better.
it got a little better. The play calling
Mhm,
definitely got a little better in the second half. I still didn't see any wide zone,
mhm,
um, a wide zone offensive play calls. I didn't see the running backs going off tackle or anything
mhm,
like that. I think I saw a couple motions,
okay,
um, things like that. I didn't see anything that resembled the triangle read offense last night. I didn't see any of the crossers, across the middles from the flank and the tight end. I
mhm,
didn't see the running back on any sail or wheel routes out the backfield. Like all those things are coming.
okay,
All the things are coming. Those are the things that the system is built upon. And
right,
so everything that I've seen thus far is just basic on man.
Mhm.
Can you whip your man?
Yeah.
Can the running backs get in between the tackles? And can the quarterback process and get the ball out of his hand?
Okay.
That's what I've seen so far.
Alright. Well, I mean, I did like that little, slip screen they threw to, what's the man name? Josh Van.
Yeah, Josh Fan. Yeah, that
Josh
was a good
Van.
one.
That
That
was
was a
good.
good one.
But, it to me, it just looked there was a little bit more motion. You know, I think that they realized that they gotta get Matt Corral out of the pocket more and, kinda get him where he can run and, I think he might be a little bit more comfortable when he's more mobile. He gets back there and gets to standing, he gets to thinking too much and looks like things aren't, he's not seeing what he needs to see, and then he panics and throws a
Yeah,
bad pass, takes a sack, holds on to the ball too long, you know, all that stuff. So, so
Lost for Amigo
back
said
more
can't go back
play
and
call.
yeah. Bears did it with Lazor and Nagy, and it was horrible. Choose one play caller. I agree
Mhm,
with you, Lost for Amigos,
mhm.
but like I said, this is a time for them to experiment in preseason. I don't think you're going to see that in the regular season. I don't think there's going to be any back and forth. I think
I
Frank
hope
Wright
not.
recognized the opportunity to get Thomas Brown feet wet when it comes to play calling and see who play calling um, resonates better with the offense. And
Okay.
that's what I'm thinking. And
Yeah.
this is the opportunity right now in the preseason to find that out. You know what I mean? You don't want to
Okay.
wait till the regular season to find it out. You want to find that out now so you are prepared and know what you want to do and what you're going to do come week one when we face the Falcons in
Okay.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Look who we got here. Adam Holland, 2 fans from West Coast, Amarillo, California. Now let me tell you, Adam, I appreciate you, good buddy, because everything I put on Facebook, I guarantee you, you are the first person to comment and like on everything.
Sure
So thank
is.
you. We appreciate you. I'm glad you finally made it on the one of our live streams. And we thank you for all the support because every time I post something on Facebook, my phone goes off, and the first person I see,
It's
Adam
Adam
Howard.
Holland. Yeah,
That is the
appreciate
first
you,
person
Adam.
I see. We appreciate you,
Yes,
man,
sir.
and thank you very much.
I
Okay.
thought I just saw what's the name?
Yeah,
Oh
Wiley
man.
just popped in, but there you go.
There you go.
What's going on, Wiley?
What's going on, Wiley?
Ain't nothing to it, man. I've been a little busy. I missed the game last night.
Mhm.
I've been seeing all this overreaction. I'm like, man, what the world?
Talk to him, Wiley. Talk
Hey,
to him.
did World 3 happen? What did I miss? What did I miss?
Yeah, nothing. Nothing, Wiley. Damn it, you ain't missed nothing. But go ahead. Go ahead,
I,
go off.
no, I'm just trying to understand. It's like I told them last week it was preseason, right? I'm like, everything be fine. Like y'all guys been saying, how you go down to Spartanville, and watch all that stuff that happened there. You see none of it in the game. Like they all forgot about all of that. Like
Mhm.
none of that happened. But
Right.
those couple preseason games, that what matters. I know it's good content,
Mhm.
but that's not reality, man. Come on.
And
Thank
I
you.
and I agree, and I agree. But the thing is, though, is you still want to see effort and execution from the plays that they have called, and that didn't happen at all in the first game. They did a much better job of it in this game.
Hmm.
Still a lot to be desired. But I've said this from the beginning. I don't care if it's vanilla as hell. I just want to see execute effort with the vanilla plays. Now, mind you, I know that goes a long ways um to determine who's going to be in what position as far as looking at your depth and evaluating the roster. But even still, you damn sure don't want to see what happened last week. And I am glad that it looked better this week. But I don't think people should panic. But at the same time, I'm not mad at anybody who's not completely happy right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
with what we have seen. Let me say that.
go ahead, Wally.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. It's just I think the problem is we've been it's like we've been in an abused relationship and we have no faith and we have no soon we see a little bit of reminder of what the
Mhm.
hell happened before we go, hey man, back up off that. Hey,
Right,
hey,
right,
hey, I've been through this one time before. I ain't doing it again. And it's like
right.
everybody's overreacting. It's not one show. I mean, I was like looking at my feed today. I was like, something happened. Then I
Oh
realized it
yeah.
was a game last night
Mhm.
because
Oh
I'm
yeah.
here and the game came on later, and
Mhm.
we had a wine fest. My office decided that we all go together, and then a couple bottles of Riesling kind of flowing. So I was
Got you. Got you, my boy.
I
I
was in
got
no
you.
shape to get on no dog on YouTube last night.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
listen, I try to tell people, whenever I can, we have to realize and remember this is a whole new coaching regime. This is a whole new offense. This is a whole new defense. They are not going to be gelling 100% in the preseason. It's just not going to happen. In the history of the game of football in the NFL, nobody masters their offense in a matter of a couple months. Nobody masters their defense in a matter of a couple of months. It takes a good year or two for a quarterback to ever feel like he has the system down to a T, to the point to where he's not even thinking about or has to think about what it is that he's getting ready to do. You know what I'm saying? So
I totally
you
agree.
got you got a new offensive scheme, new defensive scheme, and you got a rookie franchise quarterback that's going to be your day one starter. I mean, come on, man. I mean, what what do we really expect? Like, are people expectations that far fetched, is unrealistic,
Mm,
or
well,
should, I mean, help me out there. Help me out
I,
there.
like I said, I think it'll take to gain any confidence in this team. I think it's not going to happen till around the sixth or seventh game, and they actually see some consistency in whatever we're doing. Then
Right.
they've been earned, some of our trust. But other people, as
Mhm.
soon as you remind them of the things of the past, they're gonna go back. They're gonna swing that pen. It's gonna act like none of that happened. Those 6, 7 games never happened, and it's all trash. I'm just saying it's gonna take a while, man. But
Yeah.
from a, I think Atlanta's not playing nobody. Let's just look at the first game, right? Atlanta ain't really played nobody in the preseason. They've been mainly playing second, third string guys, hardly any starters. I think that's gonna bite them in the ass. The history of this game shows you need to play your guys some in order to have some rhythm when you actually have your first game. All the
Right.
practices are
Right.
great, but they need to have some game speed.
I agree.
Most of the time, when you have bad preseasons that I've seen, we've had, at least us as Panthers, we had
Mhm.
horrible, but we had great seasons. So give me a horrible preseason. I don't care about that. Show me some execution. Show me you got stuff on the right path. Show me you got some guys that can be backups. Show me that you have a way forward. And y'all guys went to see the training camp, so we know we got a way forward other than the last couple of years. So I'm
Mhm.
Right.
confident that we're ready for the season. I'm going to trust that these guys know what they're doing. We gave them all these kudos up front, so let's let them
Mhm.
Right.
earn our distrust.
Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly. Like,
hold on one sec, Tony. Los
Hmm.
Amigos said, when is y'all joint practices? They were about 2 weeks ago. They were the eighth and the ninth versus the Jets, and we only had one day because the ninth was canceled due to weather. Right,
right.
and he
Right.
also said 5 wins because we have your first round pick. Yeah, nah, but let me tell you, I don't think the Bears gonna get a top 10 pick out of us.
Nah,
I honestly
nah,
don't
nah.
think so.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
No, no, I was just I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. My
No,
bad.
no, you good. You good. You
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, man, it's Aaron from Necessary Bluntness. Now, when I say he had me on the floor, dying laughing with this, but it's absolutely true. He kind of compared it to when you playing spades, right?
Oh yeah.
And so you got a hand, and you got the ace of diamonds, you got the ace of hearts, you got the ace of clubs, and you like, all right, bet. Just say like you got the ace, the king, and the queen of a certain suit. All right. So
Mm.
you throw that ace out and you like, all right, cool. You done counted three books because you got the top three of that particular suit. But then you got somebody on the other team, lo and behold, ain't got no clubs or whatever suit you have, and they cutting you off top.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's kind of what it felt like. We as Panther fans, especially with our old line issue, we went out and we just knew we was gonna throw down that ace or king or whatever, and we just knew it was gonna walk. And then we get out here and we got cut. It's kind of like that. That was our expectations.
Hmm.
We were expected to go out. I know for me, I definitely expected the offensive line and everything to be a little bit more than it was, especially last week. Look better this week. Okay, but I think I think that's why Panther Nation is kind of all over the place because there's plenty of people that are like, don't panic. This is just a process. There are plenty of people who definitely have their hand on the panic button. Some of them are pressing. Some of them are pressing that joker like that. They hitting it. It's a wrap. It's time to jump ship and go hide somewhere. But yeah. But I like I tell Tony, I still think that we're gonna get it together. But we still have to go off of what we see. And for me, I didn't want to see the execution of the vanilla plays, start off like it did last week. And
Right.
we
Hmm.
it stepped up this week. Even still, our first stringers, especially on offense, didn't really show much. And the assumption is going to be that they're not really going to be playing much next week or at all versus the Lions. So we really going to have to wait another 2 weeks to see,
Hmm.
what's what. So
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I'm cool with that. I'm
yeah,
cool with that. I
I'm
want. I
I'm
want.
I'm okay with it because
I
me, I'm like I wanted to see something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm not disagreeing with you, man. I'm not. Hey, CJ, I'm not disagreeing with you, brother.
Yeah,
It's just
Tony
I
cool.
rather.
I'm just okay.
Well, I'm not cool with it. I'm just like I'd rather not give Atlanta nothing. They be out
Mhm.
here guessing what we punch them straight in the mouth the first drive, punch them
Yeah,
in the mouth the second drive. Next, game over, we won. That's the whole point of this for me.
yeah.
That's why I'm saying I'm cool with it, Wiley. That's
Now
why
I'm
I'm
not
saying
cool
I'm
the way
cool with it.
yeah, but that first game,
Mm-mm.
man, I was like,
No, no, no. I ain't talking
dude,
about the first game. I'm talking
okay.
about the
Oh,
the
yesterday?
the the slight progression that we saw from week
Oh,
one to
mm,
yesterday.
yeah.
I think as the offensive play calling got a little better yesterday, you saw a little better efficiency, a little
Mhm.
bit better effort, a little bit better execution from the offense. Even
Mm,
defensively, there were some young guys that's going to be rotational players that I was thoroughly impressed with yesterday. I like what LeBron Ray and Kobe Jones was doing on the left side of the defensive line. I like what Taylor Starworth was doing in the middle. Now, at first, because none of those guys are big guys up the middle, the Giants were able to run the ball a little bit against
Mhm.
those guys. Those guys around like 290, 295. They none of them are like 320. Um, I think even Snacks McCall didn't get into the game until like the second half. I think he got in the game like the fourth quarter.
yeah, I don't know why
So
that was. That was crazy.
yeah, I don't know why that was because
Mhm.
he started with the ones last week, but now
Yeah.
you got him with the third. I didn't understand that either. Unless you just wanted to see what else you had with the
Yeah.
with the other guys and playing guys at different positions. Like I don't know who was the I can't remember who was the opening nose tackle last night, but the week before last it
Ah,
was Marquand McCall.
I want to
Yeah,
say it was either was it Raekwon Williams, not number 92? Was it him?
Raekwon
Uh,
Williams, another one that shined
Yeah, I know they
oh
last
had
yeah.
night.
Deshaun Williams out there too. He started. I
Yeah,
want to say that
Deshaun Williams did a good job, and DJ
because
Johnson.
yeah, you
Go
know
ahead.
what? I was going to say that. I was going to say that. I
Yeah,
actually saw a little bit out of him last night. You know, he did a good job. He did a damn good job setting the
Mhm.
edge and not letting running plays get wide of
get
him.
outside.
He
Yeah,
he he
exactly.
really he really turned a few plays back inside to his help, and they were able to make the tackles. So
Yeah,
because I know
Oh
I
yeah,
was on here last week saying I ain't seen diddly squat from him, but I got to give him a little credit, and I did see a little something from him last night.
all
yeah.
right now. I know Q, that's Q guy. That's Q.
Who?
That's Q. DJ. We be on him.
Oh,
We be on
DJ.
Q
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
You know,
Uh-huh.
he's that Oregon guy. And Q
yeah,
always won't get Dante Brown hell, you know, talking about Deontay's trash. So we all said that DJ was trash. And of course he ain't like that. So all
yeah, yeah. DJ had a good game last night. Now,
right.
Mark Milton, you got some explaining to do. Young fella, number 37.
Oh, here you go.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't
Why
I don't know
why
what
Wiley he trash.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Just say it.
that
Trash. Just say
Mark
it.
Milton, that hey, he was looking real suspect out there last night. They were picking on him. You know,
Mhm.
he
All right.
got trucked a couple times, and I don't know who told him or taught him that tackling high is a good idea when you only weigh about $170. That ain't too good for your future, my boy. So
Oh,
he
sure ain't.
definitely huh?
No, I said sure ain't.
Yeah, he definitely need to step his game up because what he put on tape last night was not good. So
Yo,
yeah,
did you see who was it? Darren Waller when he went up against JC Horn? I ain't gonna lie. Darren Waller took off, gave JC Horn the shove. Horn was going back was on the ground. Then Waller took off and caught the ball.
you know why that happens?
Why?
You know why that happens? When your technique ain't right.
He caught him slipping on that play.
His technique was not right. His feet was too close. I went back. I watched that like 3 or 4 times, and I
Mm.
looked at. I'm like, he flat footed, feet too close. He didn't establish no balance whatsoever. Darren Waller did just he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Run his ass over.
And Darren Waller was
Lesson
a
learned.
receiver. Darren Waller was a receiver in college. See, people keep
Yeah,
Mhm.
forgetting that. So you got a receiver now that is he's like a hybrid. You know what I'm saying? He's not a
Yeah.
true tight end, but he still got receiver skills. He was a good receiver. I think with the
yeah,
Georgia Tech, if I was correct.
Yeah,
yeah.
Georgia
I think
Tech.
Georgia Tech. Yeah,
Oh yeah. But then I don't know if it was the same play or a couple plays later, he caught the ball and I'm damn if Von Bell didn't lay it to him, man. I mean
he
he
brought that wood. He would lay
yeah,
that wood to him.
pause. But
He
yeah.
lay that wood to him. Yeah, pause.
Oh,
Yeah,
big
I'm sorry.
pause.
But yeah, because it was wild though,
y'all,
because at first I
y'all are
thought he
not
might
gonna
have made
pull
it.
a me on me.
Yeah. At first I thought maybe he made his arm go numb, but then I was like, no, I think he was, reaching back trying to see where you grab the ball or not. But
Two
but
things could be true at the same time.
yeah, it could, but that was
No,
that was
no.
a that was a hell of a play.
Two things could be true at the same time. He did. Hey, he did look like that Von Bell gave him a little stinger. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? He did look
Oh
like
yeah.
Von Bell gave him a little stinger. So yeah,
Oh, you know what? And I want to pose this to y'all too. Um, okay, so we saw Chuba. He looked okay. We saw Spencer Brown, and then we got Blackshear in the game. Later on he got the touchdown. Do y'all want to see in this next game versus the Lions? Do y'all want to see Blackshear kind of get some run with whoever's on? Like got kind of get the start. Whoever's out there on the starting unit against the Lions. Because for me, I kind of want to see what he do, not being on the third string.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I
Well,
want to
yeah.
see him. I want to see him have opportunity to start the game, possibly run with the ones, if not at least the second string. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he deserves the opportunity to to start the game and give a little bit more, given a little bit more of opportunity to be productive.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like that rotation last night of Spencer Brown and then um Raheem Blackshear. So
Because
yeah, I would
we
like to
seen
see
the
him get.
same thing. We seen the same thing in the past 2 games. You know, those Chuba, Spencer, Blackshear. And I know Blackshear is probably going to be the more on special teams, kick returner, punt returner, and whatnot. But I kind of want to see. I do think I do think he is, like you say, he's deserving of a shot. I just kind of want to see how he does.
Well, he's
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one, Q. Spencer Brown is not more deserving. He is not more of a dynamic running back than Raheem Blackshear. Raheem Blackshear brings more versatility to the game as a punt returner, kickoff returner, third down back, and for him to be his size, he runs behind his pad levels and he has better feet than Spencer Brown. So I can't agree with you on that one, my boy.
well.
What you
I
think?
think
What
that
you think,
yeah.
Wally?
I believe that Blackshear is gonna be the third down back. I know they keep giving it. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh no,
I'm
you
Oh, go
good?
refreshing.
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I was saying that I think Spencer Brown's gonna be. mm, He's gonna be on the team. I don't know if he's gonna be third string or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know.
well, let me ask you, Wally, because Q disagree with me. Do you disagree? Do you think that Spencer Brown is more deserving of more carries than Raheem Blackshear?
Well, well, if it's starting, I think Spencer may start before he start, but simply because Spencer, I think Blackshear is gonna be the third down back. He got the hands.
But do you think
Yep.
he's more deserving?
Mm, that's hard to say. Be-
Okay.
That's hard to say because who's going to be playing? You see what I'm saying? That's really the question. If
Well,
Chuba get hurt,
who do you think deserves to play more? Let me pose it that way. Who do you think deserves to play more, Raheem Blackshear
yeah,
or Spencer Brown in this last preseason game?
I think it has to be. I think it has to be Spencer Brown for this reason. We want to see what he can truly do. Maybe he
Mhm.
starts and does the majority of the game. Blackshear, we know what he's going to be. He's going to be our third down back. He's going to be our guy that's going to, be special teams and all that. We already know what he is. But
Okay.
we really know what we got in Brown? And Brown been looking to me been looking pretty good. And everybody was trying to put that. What's that one guy from North
Oh,
Carolina?
Cameron
Yeah,
Peoples.
yeah. Everybody want
Appalachian
people's.
State. Yeah.
Yeah, acting like I remember when we started this thing. We started talking about. I said, "Hey, what about Spencer Brown?" I said, "Look, Spencer Brown looked pretty good." Everybody that was on Black Cat Panther was like, Spencer Brown getting cut. What are you talking about, Wiley? That's why we got Peoples. I was like, no, look at the film. The guy looks good. And look at it. He looks just like the film in college. Imagine that, right? You actually get to play.
Now, now, Q said in preseason he's been the best back on the team. Now, I would agree with you on that one, but he's also got, in what I've seen, way more carries and way
Mm.
more opportunities than Blackshear's got as well. I just want to see the roles flip for a game and see what Blackshear can do starting off the game with whoever starting instead of coming
Hmm.
in with the third stringers in the last of the third and the fourth quarter.
I agree.
Yeah, so I do agree. Spencer Brown has been the best back in the preseason, but I still want to see what Blackshear can do. We know he can return punts. Know he's gonna be on special team, kickoff, and all that. But I kind of want to see what he can give us in the backfield as well. I mean, we saw a little bit of it last night.
Right. Right. Okay.
Mm.
Well,
Well, what you got?
he
What you got for us, CJ? What you got next?
Uh, let me see. Oh, Wiley, I don't think you had came in yet. I want to ask you this too. So
hmm
in the second half of the game, that Thomas Brown was doing the play calling,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So now you see what started happening in the second half. I mean, we moved the ball in the first half. I'm not gonna say we didn't, but it wasn't quite as vanilla as it was in the first. I told Tony earlier. I said I don't know if they put some sprinkles or some fudge or something on it or whatever, but it looked a little different. Okay, so I posed this question to him and I said, do you think that in this next game that Frank Wright should let Thomas Brown go ahead and call the whole game?
They can, but I don't think it's gonna matter for this reason.
Mhm.
Is I think Frank shot himself in the foot because I don't think he really understands the our culture, you know,
Mhm.
and because he held back so much, people are now jumping over the moon for Brown. But in reality, the person that has the experience, the person that's going to call the most exotic plays, is going to be Frank. That's him.
Mhm.
But we have no faith because we haven't seen anything. He's
Gotcha.
held back so much, and his
Mhm.
personality is to do that. And then when he come out and says the things he says, it's like he's talking to us like we didn't see the game. We saw what was we saw what was in front of us. God, just say, look, we're not. It was vanilla. We're holding everything back for the season. Blah blah blah. That's it.
But he
Only
Mhm.
said
right.
that. But
No,
but
but
he has said that. He has come out and literally said that, Wally.
Tony,
He
if
he
I
he,
Tony,
he has
Tony,
Wally.
if I use some
Wally.
powder and I slapped you, if I use some
You're not
powder and I
listening.
slapped you, Tony, I don't listen to
You're
me,
not
Tony.
listening.
If I use some powder and I slapped you and I go, Tony, I was trying to hold back how you use powder, but I still slapped you, Tony. I still felt what I felt. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, Wiley, I felt it. Be like, no, dude, it was powder. No, I saw what I saw. I saw it. I saw it. And then
I
he got up
think
there like we didn't see it.
no, but I think even when even when he has came out and admitted
Oh,
that
yeah.
they're not game planning
hmm
whatsoever for anybody. They didn't game plan for the Jets last week. They didn't game plan for the Giants this week. They like they're not in that regular season mode of game planning and doing the things that you would do week in and week out for every opponent. You know what I'm
hmm
saying?
hmm
And it's like even though he says that, most fans expect something different. Like I don't know what you expect. The man has came out and said that the offense has been vanilla. We aren't
Tony,
showing anything thus far in preseason. He
I'm
said
not
that.
disagreeing,
So,
Tony. Tony,
Get him, Wiley.
but
remember,
listen,
we've been abused, Tony. Remember I said that when I first started, Tony.
okay.
You
Well,
can't remind me of
that's
that abuser.
but
You can't
but but
remind me of
listen.
the abuser.
Hey, I'm right there with you, Wiley. I've been abused too, but now we're in a new we in a new group home. We ain't in the old group home we used to be in.
Wow, we in a new group home. Damn.
We in a new group home. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? New
Jesus.
house, new
Yep.
neighborhood. The family they seem nice. Everybody seem good. The neighbors, Mr. Park and them across the street. They speak every day. You know, so
Wow.
every, every, everything is different.
Wow.
So I'm just trying to say, all I'm trying to say is don't let don't allow the newness to wear off so quick because your expectations is different from the new regime's expectations. Because clearly
I'm not,
they know they have a plan. They have a
I
plan.
I agree
Eh,
with you. Remember I said this from the beginning. With you. I'm just telling you the reality of the fan. Why people are acting the way they're acting. They're acting the way they're acting because they've been abused and they have no trust. And he
Yeah.
did not take an account of that. I think when the second half, when they came back out, they went in and they went, okay, we got to do something. We got to do something for the fans because they're going to go crazy if we don't show them something. So let's show them a little something so we can, it's like getting that first hit of crack, right? Give them a
Okay.
little something, something. Just a little something, something. Give
Well,
him a
well,
little. Here you go.
let me ask you this. Why? Let me ask you this. Do
Mm,
you feel that? Do you feel like Frank Wright has lied to the fan base thus far?
ooh, those are tough
Has he
words.
has he said anything in the
Uh,
in a press conference before a game or after the game that he deviated, that he deviated away from? Did he tell us one thing and show us another? Have you seen that?
no, but what he did was he got asked a question, he didn't answer it, so it makes it seem
Well,
like
that's
he's
all
lying.
coaches. That's everybody. Everybody don't
Yeah,
answer
but
the reporters' questions,
I
like
don't,
they want to answer
Tony.
it.
Tony, I agree with you, but here's the problem. Remember what I said?
No,
We've been
I,
abused.
I,
As
I
soon as we
really,
start feeling like that abuse is
I
there,
feel like,
we
I
gonna
feel like
act
you,
up.
I feel like you mentally abusing me right now.
I'm just
Okay,
see, there you go. See, we all see,
Oh
we all
I
there
feel like
god.
together.
I'm,
We all there together. We all
I
there
feel like,
together.
I feel like I'm being, mind tricks being played on me. But go
You
ahead.
see this? You see this, CJ? You see this,
I,
CJ?
I
We
see
all
it. But while you make a good point though. You make a good point. We
Of
have
course you
been
would.
used to this for so long, and when we don't immediately see something different, we
yep.
fall back into that. Oh hell, here we go again. Okay,
We have too much
now
evidence of that.
yeah, thank you, thank you.
Okay,
It's all in the eye test. We can't go on but what we see. Okay,
so my thing is,
That's it.
okay, so let me pose this question to you this way. Let me ask you this: do you think he should be more concerned about pleasing the fan base right now in the preseason, or should he be sticking to the plan and worrying about getting the team ready to
Mhm.
be ready game one of the regular season?
I think he could have did both, but
Thank you. There you go. There
I
you
think he could
go.
have did both. But I think on game in preseason game one,
They
he
did nothing.
had no idea of because perspective is everything, right?
Mhm.
I don't think he really understood the situation in the fan base and how uh,
Mhm.
sensitive they were towards him just doing the thing he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Then probably the owner went and said, "Look, man, look at the reaction." He's probably going, that's that's what we do. And then they're going, "Hey, look, dude, you're going to lose the fan base. We got to fill the stands up." You, you know,
Yeah.
he should have thought about that. To me, that's the piece that I look at Caldwell and Dom and saying, why didn't they set this guy up for success? They should have
Mhm.
talked to this guy about that. Those older coaches should have sat down with him and went, "Hey, I know you don't want to do X, Y, and Z, but look at the situation you're in. You have to
Yeah.
adjust to the situation you're in. You have to show
They
everything.
are coaching football. Football is about winning games. As long
Okay,
as you winning games, the
you can
fan
win
base
games
will
with
be. Listen,
empty stadium,
that listen, Frank Wright them had nothing to do with the past few years. Let
but we
let's
still the
let's
same
let's
guys.
Okay, but this is not the same coaching staff. We
Okay.
we have to get off of that. This is not Matt Rule and Matt Rule's regime. This is
I
not
know.
Ron Rivera and Ron Rivera's regime. This is
Hmm.
Frank Wright. This is Frank Wright's regime. So we have to. I feel we should give this man the opportunity to make the most of the opportunities when it counts. And right now in the preseason, is not that time. Again, I go
Hmm.
back and I say it again over and over and over again. When you have a new offensive scheme and a new defensive scheme and a rookie quarterback, things takes time. Everything is
Hmm.
not going to be gelling and clicking on 100, 100%
Yeah.
in the second week of the preseason. It's just not. That I
I'm.
don't care what team you are, I don't care what kind of quarterback you are. If you are in a new system,
Hmm.
you can be playing in this league for 10 years. If you
Yep.
play in a new system, it takes time to learn that system. The
Don't disagree.
terminology, the play
Don't disagree.
calling, the scheme, everything. So here we are with a rookie quarterback,
Hmm.
new offensive coordinator, new defense coordinator. Offense
Mm-hmm.
coordinator, this is his first year as offense coordinator. Defense coordinator, this is his second year as a defense coordinator. All these guys are young in their positions. Things take time. That's all I'm saying. It takes time, and if we want to see the fruit of our labor, we
Mm-hmm.
have to be willing to let the seed grow.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm just
You
telling
can't
you.
kill the seed
You
as soon as you put the seed in the damn ground.
come on, man. My granddad was a farmer, right? My granddad was a farmer. Everything you said is right. I'm just telling you, everything you said is right. However, they're gonna jump out the window. I'm not be
Mhm.
one
Well,
of
let them
them.
jump. Let them
Yeah, but I'm
jump.
just.
Oh,
We just
see,
gotta
come,
understand.
Don't do
No,
that. Don't be
it's
talking about
wisdom.
let him jump.
Look, Tony. See, we can't be those old men on the porch now. We can't be those old men on the porch. I'm
well,
like, y'all young
I'm
bucks
getting
don't
there, so I'm
understand, y'all.
practicing.
Hey,
I'm getting there.
but Wiley,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Okay, so I agree with you. We could have done both, right? Now,
Go ahead.
Frank said that he didn't want to give up too much. He didn't want to give anybody an edge. But with what we've seen so far, it's almost like he's got a playbook with 17 plays in it. And he's only used 4 of them because he ain't got but another 13 that to use because he don't want to. I mean, it's just that's just the way it
That
feels.
that's asinine.
Mm.
That's asinine. Again, the man has came out and
It's just
stated.
a comparison. I know he got more than
The
20
man
17
has
plays.
came out and said it
Tony.
is vanilla.
Tony's on one today. Look, he's look at him. He's on it.
Cause
Tony's on it.
I need y'all to be patient. Just
Hmm?
pump your brakes. Just be
Mm.
patient
Nobody
and
said we weren't, but we just call them off of what we've seen so far.
Tony. I told him. Now this is the weird part. I'm usually you, Tony, on the other show. This is Q probably in there laughing his butt off. I'm gonna say something that I normally wouldn't say. I'm gonna say something I
what
normally wouldn't say.
what? Go ahead, man.
Uh oh, here we go. See,
I know I know
oh
so
Jesus,
crazy.
this is not right, man. Tony, you put me in a bad spot. I got a certain character on the show, man. I can't be going outside that character. I gotta be the positive guy. I gotta be the
I'm trying to
positive.
be listen, I'm trying to be positive right now for the both of us, but you not letting it happen. It's like for some reason you want to go against the grain today. But go off.
Look at see CJ. You look at CJ. CJ know he wrong for this. He wrong for this. He wrong for this. Man.
Man, hey, look, I'm saying, and I said this to the Q and Goat and everybody when we was on their channel too.
Mm,
It's all about what we see so far. I know I keep saying that. I keep saying it's preseason. Yes, it's vanilla. Yes,
yes.
our opponent vanilla.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But my thing is their vanilla makes our vanilla look like it's melted. And that shouldn't happen. And that's what we've seen so far. Especially
Okay.
last week. It
I
got better this week. I would say it got better. Okay.
hmm
But go
I
ahead,
don't
Wally.
think I don't think
I think
nothing New England was I mean New York was doing defensively
hmm
was vanilla. Wink doesn't do anything defensively. He doesn't do anything vanilla defensively. So, yeah.
well, I think this. I think and people didn't take appreciating this. It was the Jets' second game. It was our first game. We only
Mhm.
had probably 3 to 4 weeks of actual pads on. I mean, throughout
Three or
the whole.
four games. I mean
No, no,
practice.
no. Yeah. Well, no, we had what 5, what
Well,
six practices with pads.
we didn't start padded practices until
Till that
the Monday
Monday.
before.
So that was
Hmm.
a
Yeah, Monday
three of those.
before.
So that was 3 of those, and then the one with
Yeah,
the Jets. So that was what six practices,
four.
7 practices. Well, okay, we'll say
Yeah,
four
four.
with pads. Now the
Yeah.
Jets had those four also, plus they had a game. So you telling me they didn't have advantage? Yeah, they had advantage because they had the same number of practices with pads we had, and then they had a game, which with
Yeah.
all the where the starters
Hmm.
started and the backups that they were playing us got a lot of playing time. So
Yeah.
they had advantage there. And if a reasonable person would have said, okay, that's a wash. Now this week, us and the Giants are on the same timeline, and we look closer to being a competent team. Our guys and their guys are on the same timeline. That's why I'm not jumping out the window. I believe that us in Atlanta are on be on the same timeline, and
Mm.
I don't believe that bull crap that the Atlanta podcasters are putting out there. I think that's going to bite them in the ass trying not to play their players and get them rhythm in games, and that's going to be an advantage to us. We don't see it now, but I think that's going to be an advantage to us.
Yeah, and I was going to say this earlier too. Do you think that it was more so that we got a little better, because we had more time to practice, or was it the competition level of the Giants? You
No,
know,
I think it because we have more time to practice.
mm,
It's like boxing. You can spar all
yeah,
day long, but until you get an actual fight,
hmm,
there's a difference. And the same thing
okay,
with practice. Until you actually
Right.
get in the game, you get the game speed, you actually get hit in the mouth. It ain't no, you know, the coach is trying to protect you and all this other stuff. No, it's game speed. Now the guys also they got embarrassed,
yeah,
so that didn't help. It helped us because hopefully they took it to heart more
yeah,
because all that kumbaya the fan base was giving them, all of a sudden they got the vitriol of the fan base and they went, oh,
mm-hmm,
they didn't see that coming,
mm-mm,
and
Right.
that's the piece. Yeah, that's the piece, and I understand the vitriol, and I believe in
yeah,
patience, just like Tony. It's just I don't know how patient fans are gonna be this year. I hope that we have a say 10-7. We get 10-7 this year. It's gonna be rocky up and down.
yeah.
But I believe that'll gain some faith from the fan base. And next year we go in, we make a few draft picks, we change some things up, and we'll be on our way. That's just me.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, Wiley, the fan base ain't gonna have much patience at all. I'm going to tell you that Panther Nation is ready to see results, and yeah, I mean, because if we go, even though, like we said, we got a rookie quarterback, all right, but I think everybody's expectations were still at a certain level, even with a rookie quarterback. Now, if we go out here and just say we don't improve on last year, say we end up 7-10 again, you know, fan base is going to go. That's just my opinion.
Oh no, you're right. They probably will go crazy because
Mhm.
it'll be out of context because they'll look at what happened last year. We may have some major injuries that keep us from going no more than 7-10. I'm saying
True.
everything's within context for me. I
Yeah.
look at it from a rational perspective, and but fans don't always because fan mean fanatic, right? I'm a
Yeah.
supporter. As a supporter, I try to look at it more rationally than a fan.
Yeah.
Just
Migo
I
said
can
he
agree
said
with
we'll be
that.
patient because of Bryson. Well, you know what, Los Flamingos, hey, ain't gonna have no choice. You know, ain't gonna have no choice. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just gonna say, hey, everything that you just said, Wally, is correct. You got majority of the fan base that doesn't rationalize in their mind, what it could be or what things could be moving forward. Everybody wants everything right now. You know what I'm saying? Like as if we've been with the same offensive and defensive coordinator and same head coach and same quarterback for past 2-3 years instead of
mm,
just 2 months. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yep,
but hey, all I know, winning cures all. And
it's
once
true
they
statement.
start winning, when they start winning and they start stringing together, consecutive wins and things of that nature, and we somehow find ourselves NFC South champs or even in the playoffs next year,
Oh,
just the
oh,
playoffs,
yeah, yeah.
just the
If we
playoffs.
sneak in,
Yeah,
uh, I,
we just sneak
I,
in.
I just want the experience. I want just like
Yeah.
anything. I want the experience so they can see the speed of the game, so they can get that experience and build on it for the next year. Because the goat says, well,
Right.
why would you want to get in the playoffs? I'm like, just so they can get the experience, so they can build on it. it ain't so we can win anything. We ain't good. We ain't that good. Even if we get lucky, I don't think we that good.
Yeah.
You
But it's
know,
crazy. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say now, mind you, hey, if we can make a run of things and get into the playoffs or whatever, I'm all for it. But
Right.
that's not gonna be like me saying, okay, I know we're gonna get here. That's not where I'm setting the bar at. I'm hopefully like, hey, okay, maybe we can improve on last season. But damn it, shit, if we can pull off some wins and get to the postseason, I'm all for it. And like Wiley said, that experience will be nothing but good for the players. But Los Four Amigos said the thing that sucks, y'all don't have a first round or second round pick the following season, so drafting would be a little rough unless you hit late round picks. Now, mind you, that is all
I think we
facts right
I
there.
think we have a second round pick next year. I know we don't have the
Next
first
year, but we don't have a second round the year after.
in 2025.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we
okay.
get our first next year, then our second the next year. But you know what? And that's the thing. We talked about this before about how our picks after the first round have
oh
really been, hit or miss. So yeah, they really gonna have to. I
yeah.
don't know what's the word I'm trying to think. Because it's wild though. I mean, because now mind you, it's a different coaching staff. Because the fan base saw them take a damn long snapper, and then
Come on, CJ. CJ
you
bringing
know
up old stuff.
I'm
CJ,
serious.
we've been abused. CJ, we've been
Yeah,
abused. You bringing
hey,
up old stuff.
we took a long snapper, and
I
then
know,
you
I
got a
know.
few picks later. You got Trey Smith, who done won the damn Super Bowl.
I
Now
know.
mind you, we had took Deontay Brown before then, but hey, that's just it's in the past. But
Yeah.
it's yeah, we we we
See,
we
Wiley,
really gonna have to hit with the picks.
this is why we can't heal right here, Wiley.
It's that scab, man. It's that
Yeah,
scab. It's like every time the scab start getting, it start healing, right?
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like, man, you can't. Hey, man, back up off the scab, brother. You gotta let it heal. Nah, we ain't
yeah,
gonna do that, man. We
Hey,
ain't.
you say quit
This year's
lying,
gonna be.
Wiley.
See, I told you. See, I told you.
You
See,
say you
Tony.
an
See, Tony.
extreme optimist.
See, Tony.
dang,
See, Tony.
dang.
See, now, Tony, you called me a hater. See,
Rational, okay.
Yeah. He said, hopefully we can turn the wine cheese crowd into a real home field advantage this year. But I guess winning cures that. Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
does. It does.
Mhm.
Winning does
And you
cure
know
everything.
what's crazy about that? That wine and cheese crowd. That's the same thing they call our Tar Heels. When it comes to
Pretty
basketball,
much. Pretty
football,
much.
the wine and cheese crowd been like that ever since Dean Smith was the head coach of the basketball team. So, hey, man, listen, yeah, I'm just gonna be patient. Everybody has their opinions. Everybody feels the way they feel.
Mhm.
For me, I just want to see us get through the first 2 weeks. If we can come out, in my opinion, if we can come away the first 2 weeks of the regular season with victories against the Falcons and the Saints, I
Mhm.
think that sets us up pretty to have a run to eventually be NFC South champions.
Well,
Now,
what whether we the champs or we get into the we get in the playoffs, regardless, I'm happy either way. I just
Right,
mhm.
want to
that's
get in
true.
the playoffs. I just want to
That's
get in the
true.
playoffs and get some experience to build on. That's the only thing I really want for this year. I think 10-7 is where we're gonna the highest we can possibly do it. And I don't think we can get any higher than just me. Looking at the games and not trying to be a fan,
Mhm.
10-7 is going to be hard to get to because a couple of those games in the NFC South that people say we're going to win, I don't think we're going to win, and there are going to be a
Really?
couple games
What
we're
what
going to
games are
surprise.
those? What games are those?
I think that one of those games against Tampa is not going to be a gimme.
Hmm.
One of those games against Tampa is not going to be a gimme.
Okay.
I would love for it. I can sit here fan out on the show and say whatever, whatever. That's what we always do. But I'm just saying, from looking at that defense haven't regressed. Now, Baker, we think Baker's going to be Baker, but I don't think we can sit here and be, rational and say that we're just going to run over the South, like like some guys say. I don't believe
Yeah.
it's going to happen, but I believe that New Orleans is paper tigers though. I think New Orleans, the injuries going to catch up within their age. Just
Well,
me.
I'm a firm believer that quarterbacks matters. And right
Hmm.
now, I think we have the second best quarterback in the NFC South. I think our
Well,
quarterback situation is better than Atlanta's. I think our quarterback situation is better than Tampa. The only
yeah.
reason I give Derek Carr um a step above Bryce Young because he's an NFL veteran with 10 years in the game. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you
Pro.
this. I'm gonna pose this question to both you guys, and CJ, you can start this one off.
Eh,
Do you so far in just the two preseason games, the limited amount of opportunities that we've seen Bryce Young have, do you think Bryce Young right now looks better than any quarterback that we had on the roster last year?
Hmm.
Hmm. So far, okay. I think he looks better than Baker Mayfield did. Okay. Um, I'm gonna have to say, damn.
Come on now.
No,
Uh-oh.
because I don't want
Panther
to.
Nation is watching. That's all I'm saying.
I
Panther
know,
Nation is watching.
but I still got to formulate my thought here. you know, I to be honest, I kind of think it might be too early to tell because we haven't really seen a whole lot. If we talking about Sam Darnold from last year, Sam Darnold had a pretty decent into the season from when he got off injury. He came in, he started to the end of the season. It wasn't it wasn't spectacular, but he won games and he wasn't garbage juice trash. Okay,
Right. Right.
now ask me in a few weeks and I can give you a definite answer on well a couple months. Once we got about 6 7 games on ask me then, and then I can tell you. But
What
from
about
what they've put out for Bryce so far, I can't really answer that. But now, do I think that he will eventually be? Absolutely.
what about you, Wally?
See, here's that fake stuff for preseason. So last year in the preseason, people keep forgetting that Baker went out the first preseason game and scored a touchdown. His completing percentage was pretty high too. We all
Mm-hmm.
felt great. Look what's gonna
Sure
happen.
did. Sure
Look what's
did.
gonna look what's gonna happen. And
Yep.
what
Sure
happened?
did.
We all got faked out. That's why I don't like the
Yep.
preseason. So I'm gonna trust that Bryce is gonna be more consistent because he's gonna be the starter throughout the whole season. So we'll have opportunity to build on each start after start after start. So game after game, he's gonna get better, and through that consistency, we're gonna have better quarterback play throughout the season. Now, I don't know if Bryce is gonna have those 300-yard games that Sam had, but if he can average 250 through the season, 235 to 250 through the season, I'll be happy, man. 235 through the season, you know what they get him? I give him about 38 to 3,900 yards, and that can give him roughly like I'm thinking 27, 28 touchdowns, about 10 interceptions, 8, 9, 10 interceptions.
I
That's
I,
a good
I could
season.
take that. Yeah, I could take
And,
that for a first
and, get,
for a rookie
and
season. Yeah.
guess who rookie season that reflects?
Who's that?
Baker.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? Perspective is
Yeah.
everything, right? So
Perspective
I'm
is
saying we
everything.
we need to just calm down. If he can give that to us, dude, hey, that's a good season. He'd be consistent throughout the season. We'll get wins because we had the up and down stuff, so we didn't get a lot of wins. So if we have
Yeah.
consistency, then the defense is going to be more consistent, I believe, because we have a better uh, we have a better team on defense this year than last
This
year. Mhm.
this question right here is for you, Wally.
So, you know what? Q's a hater, man. Q's a hater. Q's a hater. Q's a hater. Q's a hater.
Yeah, how Wally? Oh god.
Them like-
see,
Stu-
Tony. You see what I got to deal with, Tony. See what I got to deal with.
your your
hey,
your response your response to that, Wally.
How? Oh, well, look at this. Look at Lioness numbers again. Look at this. No,
Hey,
that
but
is
but
a. Hey, mm,
no. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your statement.
no, what I'm saying is the numbers. Yes, numbers can be what they are, and we can use them for a plus or a minus perspective. 50-50, right? Half glass, a glass half full versus a glass
Mm,
half empty. Same thing. Exact
yeah.
same numbers. I'm saying, yes, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. However, last year we didn't have consistency at quarterback. Consistency breeds wins. Because if you're
Facts.
consistent at something, the defense knows exactly what they're going to get. That means they either keep their play a certain, raise their play to maintain, or right? Raise it, or
Mm,
they can go or maintain where they at because they know what they're gonna get from the offense. But if you don't know from week to week, you're like Jekyll and Hyde. The defense going out there and they thinking I gotta play out my mind because I ain't gonna get nothing from you, and then
mm,
they get wore out by the end of the season. All those games build on each other. That's like when you drive in your car, you don't get a new tank of gas every 5 miles. No, you're
yeah.
actually using that tank throughout the season. So that tread on those players, you got to make sure you maintain a good, long, even rotation of players so you don't wear them out throughout the season. If not, by the end we're gonna be running on gas on fumes. Go ahead.
Hey, now I wanted to go back to some R Wit put in the chat a while ago. He said, "Have we talked about the wide receivers getting open?" Okay. Now, for me, what I saw, and kind of hate to do this, but I'm have to agree with Tony a little bit on this one here. But I think that's all I think it's all a product of the play calling as well too. I think once they
Ding,
start
ding, ding,
yeah,
ding.
I think once they start implementing some more things, um, because you haven't really seen it a lot from my starting wide receivers. Thanks, that's just my opinion. But in the second half of game yesterday, we saw some different plays, some different things going on, and they were open. So
Yeah.
I think once the play calling gets ramped up, I think our wide receivers will be in a better position to make plays. What y'all think about it?
Okay. No, I agree. I agree with you. I talked about that earlier a little bit. Um, by the offense being so vanilla, you're not seeing a lot of the plays that we saw being ran when we were in Spartanburg. You're not seeing the triangle read offense really being implemented thus far in preseason. So you're not really getting the full picture. Okay, you're not getting the full.
Hmm.
I think once the full arsenal of plays and things like that get unloaded, I think you'll see our receivers uh getting better separation from the corners and stuff like that.
I believe it's scheme because we're gonna have to scheme all these guys open, but we don't have like a dominant number one. We got good
Mm,
players, but we don't have at least what we see right now. I don't see a dominant number one. Even with Sharp with his speed, we don't have a dominant number. So you're gonna have to scheme these guys open, and that's the whole point.
Right.
If you go back to the Rams playbook, the only time they had a true dominant receiver, the whole time that McVay been there, was when they had Odell for a little while. Other than that, it was all scheme, bro. Cooper Cup was all scheme.
Yep.
So we scheme them open, we use them, play to their strength, and win the game.
laughing at you. I can't even remember what he said that to.
You know what? You know what? This is a hater, man. Why he shooting shots at a brother? See,
Come on,
he
Q. Come join the chat, man.
hey, Leak come up and let and jump on since you got time. You got time for me. Come on,
Yeah.
bring your ass, you.
And look, those four amigos say y'all should have kept DJ Moore and gave us Burns, but y'all didn't want to. I'm gonna have to disagree with
I'm
that. As
gonna
much as
disagree
I
with that.
hated to get rid of DJ Moore, I think that was the right pick for what we. I think it was either Moore, Burns, or Brown, if I'm correct, right? They asked for about Derek Brown too,
Yeah.
or am I wrong?
No, they asked about Derek Brown, Brian
Uh-huh.
Burns, and DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as much as I hate it, I think we gave up the right person. Okay. And
Hmm.
much respect to DJ Moore, and I hope you go out there and ball out, except when they play us. But yeah, I think we dealt the right piece.
Hmm.
Well, what about
See,
you, Wiley?
Chicago is thinking that they got a gem because he scored that touchdown. DJ
And
never
Uh
did that the
huh.
whole time. DJ never did that the whole time he was with us, and then he scored a
Thank you.
touchdown. Now, and now they all going
Thank
crazy.
you.
But if you actually look at the play, it wasn't about him. He had great blocking down the scene. So all he had to do
mm,
was just run. I mean, anybody could have made that play. I could have made
I,
that play
s-
at 50.
I said that last week. I said when have we ever seen DJ Moore catch a screen and get north and south and keep moving? Never. Never. Only person that we saw really do that was LaVisca Chenault last year, who did it two or three times.
Hmm.
When he got the ball on the screen like that, he got he got north and south, squared his pads, and it was hard to bring him down. You know what I mean?
and Paul,
Yeah,
Paul said Cooper has like 500 plus receptions in 6 seasons, so he's much more than a scheme receiver.
I can. You know what Cooper Cup is, Paul Mancini. Cooper Cup has a PhD in route running,
Yeah, I'm sure.
and when I say that, I'm just. Let me say it like this: Cooper Cup sets you up before the play or before the ball is even hyped. He know how to set you up before the ball is even hyped. And with Cooper Cup, there's no wasted motion, no wasted steps. So he can make his 4.640 look like he ran a 4.440. Not only does he's a technician, point blank. So point blank period. So whatever you think his weaknesses are, he has turned them into a strength. There is no better technician route running in the game right now than Cooper Cup. I'm willing to bet my house on that.
Mm-mm. Oh boy from Minnesota, Justin Jefferson.
He's
He's
good,
better.
but no, he's not. He's not. No, he's not. Wiley. He is
All
not a
right.
better route runner than Cooper Cup. You talking about you talking about Justin Jefferson who runs a
Mm-hmm.
4.3, 4.37, 4.38 40. That's what he ran in his pro day. Or I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, at the combine. You talking about
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Cup who ran a 4.65.
Mm-hmm.
4.65.
Okay, watch
But
this. So Cooper
but
Cuff, right? Cooper Cuff, all his
mhm.
dazzling route running. When did he start that dazzling route running? He was in the league a few years. People think he just got in the league. He was in
Who?
the league. Cooper Cup. He was in the
Cooper Cup?
league.
Cooper
Go ahead.
Cup has been putting in work since he got drafted, my friend. This
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing new. This is Cooper Cup is not just a 1 or 2 or 3 year hit wonder. Cooper Cup has been doing work since his rookie year. Go back and check the tape and look at the numbers. He is not new to this. That boy been nice ever since he came into the league. It ain't
Nice
just
and doing.
happened. It ain't just happened overnight. He has been consistently doing this since he came into the league.
Hmm. And nice and doing what he's done in that Triple Crown year is totally different, Tony. See, you even farther, you jumping out the, don't, you making me feel like the hater. What is up
Nah,
with,
but
look at CJ laugh. Look at CJ
all I'm
laugh.
saying is,
You wrong,
don't get me
CJ.
wrong. I'm saying Justin Jefferson is nice. Don't get me wrong. Justin
Okay.
Jefferson is hands down one of the top two, top three wide receivers in the league. But
Hmm.
we expected that from Justin Jefferson.
Hmm.
Nobody expected this kind of
Okay.
production from Cooper Cup
Granted.
coming out of
Yeah.
college.
Granted. Okay. I'll back up off that. Okay.
Yeah,
I will,
totally, totally
I'll
two
concede
different
that
type of
point to you.
players.
I concede that
Yeah,
point to you.
thank you, I
See,
appreciate it.
see. No one does that to me though. They never concede nothing to me. So I'm trying to do the things that people don't do to me to you, Tony.
All right.
I hope
Well,
you listening. I hope you is listening.
you know he listening. You know he
Look,
listening.
hey, I can
I
see
wish
Q
you
with them
come on.
glasses on right now. Like, I don't give a damn.
Now, Wiley. Now, Wiley, now you know you're wrong. You know you're wrong.
Oh god.
I'm just
Always
saying.
said more plays to the tight end would be great. Hurst Thomas had reception. Hurst had a great catch for first down.
Yeah, he
To be
did
honest
that
with you,
30 and 31. Yeah.
Mm,
I want to see more Tommy Tremble and less of Ian Thomas. That's just me personally. You know,
I
kind
agree.
of almost the same situation like when we was talking about Blackshear, getting in the backfield.
mm-hmm.
I would love to see them have Trimble in more with the second squad, and you've seen Thomas, and I mean okay, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm stretching okay, I think, but I definitely want to see Trimble a lot more.
Mm.
Mm. Okay, I don't disagree with that because we want to see what we got. We know what we
Hmm.
got needing Ian Thomas.
Yeah,
I
I
would
think
like to see.
Trimble is I think his catching ability is slightly underrated. I'm not going to say that he's going to go out there and catch everything that's thrown to him per se, but
Who's that?
Trimble.
Oh,
I
Tremble.
think he's a very capable catcher. Let me tell you, if it was me, I'd rather have him out there than Ian Thomas. I think he's got
Mm,
better hands than Ian Thomas, and he can do just as good, or not better, of a job as Ian Thomas at blocker.
okay.
I
Well,
agree.
what if they put out two tight ends set in the fourth? I mean, the final preseason game, and put Sullivan and Trimble out there to see what we got because they got to cut somebody.
Yeah, I ain't got no issues with that. Yeah,
Yeah, I ain't got
I ain't
no
got no
issue
issues
with
with that
that.
at all.
Yeah, I'm just
Uh-uh.
That
saying that.
because this is the time of the year when you do that to see what you got, to
Yeah.
Mhm.
see who's going to be on that final 53-man roster. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be
This
tough
is
this year.
yeah. This is the time of year where you do the experimenting.
Mhm. Paul said Ian Thomas just can't move quick enough to turn short passes into bigger plays. Why they keep throwing these tight end screens to him is beyond me. All right, facts, Paul.
Facts,
Facts.
facts, Paul.
They should be throwing him
Facts.
to Sullivan. They should be throwing him to Sullivan. Sullivan is converted receiver, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sullivan has that speed that
Yeah.
Thomas
Ian,
don't. So
Ian Thomas get the ball, and it's just like, I'm good right here where I'm at. I don't think I'm gonna go no further. Yeah.
maybe we need to tell him that if he score, he get a new motorbike, dirt bike.
something.
Yeah.
Motivate him.
It Thomas is a blocking tight end. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
I
he
think
is.
he's a way better blocking tight end than he is a catching
But you know what?
receiving tight end.
If you get a chance, Wiley, to watch a replay of the game
Hmm.
last night, the one thing about Aaron Thomas that I do like, he's a willing blocker. Like
Oh yeah.
he is willing to stick his nose in the fray and get the work done. But
Hmm.
is he a really good blocker? I don't think he's a really good blocker because a lot of times you always see Aaron Thomas end up on the ground or he
Hmm.
done
Yes.
took the wrong angle,
Hmm.
in whatever protection that they may be in. It's like it's
Hmm.
always something. He's willing, but does he do a good job at what he's willing to do? I don't think so. I just think it's okay. I
Well,
think it's okay.
I always akin it to like we gonna go back. Remember how when Luther Vandross had that curl, it just wasn't quite right.
Damn,
You know
Wiley.
what I'm saying? It wasn't quite right, man. It was like it looked like a curl. Is it a curl? What is it? What is it? What is it?
God
We're like,
Almighty.
we're like, is it?
Oh
You
my
you
god, I
looking at
was not
you look
ready. I
you
was
looking
not
for
ready.
it. You looking. You going. Michael Jackson got a nice curl. That's a curl. That's a Jerry curl. Coming to America when they
Wiley.
was on that show, that was a Jerry curl.
Yo.
Remember those marks on the wall they had? That was a Jerry curl. But Luther, that's not him. It's like, what is he? Is he a blocker? Is he a receiver? What is he? I'm just saying.
Okay. Shoot.
It is what it
Mhm.
Well,
is, man.
it is. It sure is. But I was gonna say before we get out of here, just real quick, everybody's overall take from the game last night. Positive, okay, need to see more. What y'all got?
Go ahead, Wally.
I, I I'm in a positive mood. It's not perfect, but it's the preseason. They built on from the last start they had. Uh, that shows me the things that they're working on that we're not seeing. The stuff y'all saw at training camp, they're finalizing that stuff to be ready for Atlanta. So I'm okay with it.
Huh?
Preseason
Okay.
don't really matter that much to me.
Yeah,
Tony?
I think I'm along the same line with Wally. Like I don't really care that much about preseason. I want to see the execution. I want to see movement of the ball. I just want to see these guys continue to gel offensively and defensively. I don't mind the I guess you could say the puzzle that Frank Wright is playing with by trying different guys in different positions to see where to get a better combination of players, whether it's on the offensive defensive line. Like right now everything is a trial and error period because a lot of these guys have never played in his offense, and a lot of these guys have never played in Ivero's defense. So they just trying to find the best fits for everybody. But you do want to see, or I do want to see, consistent improvement each week. We went from week one to a little bit more consistent improvement in week two, and hopefully that progress a little more in week three. So when week one roll around, we in there. So yeah, I'm okay with where I'm okay where everything stands right now, and I'm definitely not panicking. I think we're gonna be all right. What about you, CJ?
I'm with you. I'm not panicking. I'm all right with everything stands, but at the same time, I am going to continue to give them the business when they make stupid plays and don't do what they're supposed to do. Okay, because
Facts.
it's still the preseason. I get that, but I'm still standing by this. Preseason is where you find your depth, where you see who's doing what. But my thing is, I think the coaching staff should have had them more prepared for the vanilla play calling. That's my thing. I said this before the first game. I don't care if it's vanilla. I just want to see them go out there and execute on that vanilla. Because my thing is, everybody says the Jets offense was vanilla. I says that the Giants offense was vanilla, but then vanilla ass offenses went down the field on us quite a few times. Okay,
But they
and
they go
hold on,
ahead. I'm
hold on,
sorry.
hold on, hold on,
I
hold on,
mean to
hold
cut
on,
you off.
hold on,
Go
hold on,
ahead.
and that's for me as a Panther fan. That's what I didn't like. Okay, so
Yeah.
but that's my spiel. It's not time to hit the panic button. I like the way we're going. I like the way that Bryce is continuing in my eyes to show that I think he's more than capable. Okay, and I like the direction that he's going in. And hopefully, once we get to the point where they'll start game planning for week one, and I'm pray to the heavens above. In week one, we'll see something. Okay,
Right.
so that's that's
Right.
my that's my spill on it.
All
All
right.
right.
We have Paul Mancini. Deion Jones did have a good game last night.
Mm.
Okay,
Getting the
it
Greedy
is
rust off.
Williams
Greedy
has been a
Williams.
disappointment. He has been a disappointment so far in his NFL career.
Who,
Mm.
Dion or
Greedy
Greedy Williams?
Greedy Williams, cornerback
Oh,
out
okay.
of LSU. He
Oh
got
yeah,
Gotcha.
drafted by the Browns.
yeah.
Didn't pan out with the Browns and went to the Eagles. Now he's been released by them. So
Okay. Rock
yeah.
Jones said, "Is it crazy to think that?" So I guess I've been saying this man's name wrong. I've been saying Gruger Hill, but I guess it's Grugier Hill
Oh
because
yeah.
I keep
Listen,
hearing.
I've always heard him say Camus Gruger Hill.
I
This
Same
year is
here.
the first time I've ever heard Gruger. Now I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
I never heard Gruger pronounced like that Hawaiian. That's
See,
more like
see,
French.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
see what Tony doing? Trying to change the man name. Like
I ain't trying to change the
eh,
name.
well,
y'all
I
been
mean, you
messing it
know,
up for years.
I think we all guilty of it. I think everybody done
Oh
called
yeah,
that man Gruger
So
Hill at least once or twice or
man,
50
I
by
done
now.
messed
so
that.
it is Gruget.
That's cool, Jay. Yeah.
That's Gruger, Camus
Well,
Gruger Hill.
don't hey listen, don't fault us. That's what the NFL have been saying for
Well,
since the
hey,
man been in the league.
Tony,
yeah.
Tony. I
Go
remember
ahead, Wally.
when I first got my job when I retired, right? Everybody called me Mr. Wiley. I was looking around like, who is this Mr. Wiley guy? Who is Mr. Wiley? Then I realized I'm Mr. Wiley, but that's my first name. Everybody called me that for a whole year. They'll rename me. I didn't say
Wally.
that. I was like, I didn't say
Wally.
that. I was see,
Now
see
Wally.
what, see what I'm
Wally.
saying? There you go. There you go.
All I said was we call the man what the NFL announcers have been calling the man ever since he been in the league. This is
Gruger
the
Hill.
first this is the first year I've heard Gruget.
You see
Yeah,
this?
and I heard it
See,
from the Panthers commentator. I
Yeah,
forgot my man name. The one that be with Steve Smith. He was the first
I
person I
can't
heard
think
to
of his
call him
name
that.
either. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
yeah, but
it's not our fault, Wally. We're not trying to change the man's name.
see, you
That
see, you
that
see what he
that
doing? You see,
that's
see,
what's been bestowed upon us. That's
see,
all
you
I'm
see
saying.
this? You see this,
Hey,
CJ?
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
have
how
to
you,
agree with my co-host on this one, Wild. I got to
Thank
stick
you.
with him.
CJ,
Yeah, because
CJ.
Thank you,
I've
CJ.
called him Gruger for God knows how long.
Thank you,
CJ,
But
cuz.
I feel y'all. I feel y'all on this, but it didn't happen to y'all, dude. Even they were telling me how you know what your name is. I was like, this is some bullshit. I think I know what my name is.
Lord have
That's
mercy.
Everybody
like
else call you
that,
that.
that's like
Yeah,
our last name Brian. Then somebody gonna come along and say no. I think it's really pronounced Brian.
them fighting words right there, buddy.
Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong for
Yeah,
this. Y'all wrong
them
for
fight
this.
words right there. Well, hold on, but let me get let me get back to his question.
Go
Roscoe's
ahead.
question though. He says the crazy to think Grugier Hill should be starting at linebacker. Um, I wouldn't say crazy, but it's highly unlikely. You know, it's going to be Shaq and it's going to be Luvu. I think that he was brought in as kind of like Deion Jones. He's a depth piece. But he has shown us, I think, especially in training camp and a little bit in the preseason, that he's very capable. So hopefully, God forbid something happens. If he has to step in, he can step in and step up.
Let me pose a question. Let me pose a question this way:
Hmm.
if he were to eventually be the starter, who position do you think he takes? Shaq
The
Thompson
Shaq.
or Frankie
This is Shaq.
Louvu?
I know what the Shaq hate. See, Tony
Well,
Sneak Dish.
No,
Sneak
I
Dish.
think it's
I
only
just
going to happen in case
that's an
one of them
honest
get hurt.
question.
I don't
It's
think
just
he's
an
going
honest
to outplay either one of them, but I think it's going to be, one of them have to get hurt for him to take that starting spot.
because now before Wiley get on his soapbox, let me just say this real quick.
Not the
I'm
soapbox.
not I'm not hating, but if you go back and look at it, he he he's better in pass coverage than Louvu or Shaq Thompson. That's just facts. I ain't saying he's a better downhill linebacker. I'm not saying he's a better thumper. But when you talk about somebody that has made plays, he makes more plays than Shaq Thompson. I'm not that's just the facts. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't, Wiley. Okay, now you can
Oh,
go.
here we go. See, now
Hold,
he
hold on,
coming
hold
at
on,
me.
wait a minute. Let me go back here. According to let me see, where is it? Look, according to Q, they do lie.
See,
No,
see, see,
those
see,
Wiley numbers. No, those
see.
Wiley
Oh,
numbers.
oh my
That's some
I'm
God.
extra
sorry,
See,
I'm
for
see,
sorry,
Wiley.
Wiley. I'm
see,
sorry, man.
you see this hate, man. You
I'm
see this
sorry,
hate.
Wiley. I couldn't help myself. I had to do
See, CJ, I thought we were good, brother. I thought we were good. Anyway,
it. Oh man,
I don't
let's
think
see.
that I don't think he would start for this reason. If somebody get hurt, I'm not worried about it. You right, he can come in. But I don't think he can take either one of those guys' place simply because when he's been in the starting lineup, his numbers are okay. He did okay, but it wasn't something you're gonna write home about. You know what I mean? So he had like one year, I think he had 103 tackles. I think when he played at Houston, but I'm not mad at the guy. Maybe he hadn't found the right defense to be in, and we have the right defense now. So, but this all this our linebacker core ain't great, but I guess the rest of the NFL ain't either. The only one that had a great linebacker core really is San Fran. Everybody else, they either got a top linebacker or they got one that's way down on the list when you go to linebackers. Our guys are right in the middle, both of them.
Hold on. Now,
Hmm.
Wally, that's why I'm gonna have to disagree and say you're wrong on that because so what you telling me is that Fred Warner and I can't remember the other linebacker for San Francisco. You tell me you think they're better than Devin White and old boy down there in Tampa Bay?
The numbers said, since you said the numbers don't lie,
No, numbers don't lie. The
pull it
numbers,
up.
the numbers don't lie. But
Pull it up.
I would have to see that.
It's
I would have to
PFF.
see
We
that.
went- we did a whole show on this on Black Panther, and we went over
Mhm.
all the numbers because at the time I think it was like maybe we were right after the draft. I'm trying to remember what the show was. It's like a week or two after the draft we did the show, and we pulled up the number because everybody was trashing our linebacker core, and I had Jay Issue pull up the numbers. He pulled the numbers in, and at that time on PFF, it had Shaq number like I think it was like number 13, and
Mm.
no, yeah, yeah, and Luvu was number 21 out of 32 linebackers in the league. The only ones that
Okay.
had some higher than that, one was number one, and then they had another guy who was like number 12, I think it was, their other linebacker. No one else had anybody that was even close to our guys. They either had somebody that was below our guys or right above our guys. But it wasn't, when you look at the numbers, our guys were number two. Now, that was
Mm.
then. New polling came out, but yet Shaq is still up there. They had Shaq, what, Lois was like number nine.
I think
So, and
I
then
think
Louisville,
I think Roquan Smith and Patrick McQueen in Baltimore have something to say to you. They just send me
well,
a message so they're gonna give you a call after the show.
Well, they can do that. I give them a ticket. There's a wine fest going on right now. We can toast.
Lord have mercy.
I
Okay.
got some wine.
Oh
I got some
man.
wine and cheese over here for everybody in Carolina.
I know
Gotcha.
that's right. No, that's right.
Cool, Phil. Let's go ahead and shut this one on down. Wiley, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you joining us, giving your thoughts and opinions and insight.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
thank everybody in the
Appreciate
chat.
it, born brother.
Thank everybody in the chat that stuck
Airborne.
with us. If you haven't in the chat, you watching, please hit that like button. Help us out with the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those post notifications when our videos come. We appreciate all the love and the support. Still on our way to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. At this current time, I think we're at 754. So if you're out there, tell a friend to tell a friend. Even if you're not a Panther fan, come on, we'll chop it up with you anyway. It's not your fault you don't like the right team, but we still love to have you. Okay. But
246 more to go. Come on now.
yeah, there you go. But like I always say, everybody out there in Panther Nation, keep pounding.